Make the ground shake.
Hello YouTube, this chapter of Fairy Tail has been a long time coming, and I just want to say that this chapter, it was hype, okay? That it was just hype. Now Natsu has finally awakened his E.N.D powers or form, and let me just say, it looks really cool, and in my opinion, it looks like all the pictures that everyone was, you know, drawing out, like all the good artists and drawers on Divine Arts and all these people were drawing it. In my opinion, he kind of looks like that. No, not all the way, and we haven't really got to see that, all the angles of him, but from what I've seen, he does kind of look like what everybody had been, you know, drawing him to be. So I think that's cool. Now, the fight between Natsu and Gray, that's almost like positive. I'm almost positive that that's going to happen, and if it does, especially in next chapter, which it probably will start next chapter, but we'll get some dialogue mostly. Now, I don't know what next chapter will bring, but that's just what I'm guessing. So if that does happen, that'll be really cool, and maybe we'll get to see, you know, some things that Gray gets to say. Maybe we'll get Gray's resolve, and maybe Gray won't fight Natsu. Now, if that happens, it will be a disappointment, but his resolve and the reason why he won't, I kind of want to see that. So if he does do that, that would also kind of be cool if we got a good explanation to why he would not fight Natsu. Now, one thing I also want to say is that now that, you know, we know Brandish is okay for sure, which we knew she was anyways, but I don't know if it was just me, but I noticed in this chapter that, you know, there's going to be a possibility that she could just shrink the tumor again and Natsu's powers or E.N.D powers would go away. Now, I don't know if I'm the only one who noticed that. I'm sure some other people have noticed that or thought of that as well, so that would definitely be a good explanation if he actually, you know, loses his E.N.D powers, is that, oh, Brandish shrunk the tumor again, and, you know, Natsu goes unconscious, and he wakes up, and he's no longer E.N.D, and etc., etc. You could, you know, just theorize or guess what's going to happen after that. We really don't know. That'd be up to Hiro Mashima, but I'm just saying that that's a pretty good theory, and I don't even know, it's like I'm almost positive that that will happen. Now, if that's not the way he loses his E.N.D powers, or he stays in his E.N.D form, then I don't know, and I hope that whatever happens, if it's not the Brandish theory, then it'll be something better. Now, one thing I do want to mention is that he seems like that he knows who Gray is. So does that mean he has his memories? And if he has his memories, then why would he go against Gray? But if he doesn't have his memories, because I don't honestly think he does, but he just may recognize Gray. Because one thing he said, he was like Zeref. So he's like, right off the bat, as soon as he turns into E.N.D, he wants to go after Zeref. So maybe like E.N.D's over control of him, but he still like has some memory of Gray, or maybe he still has his memories intact, and he's like, wow, now that I have this awesome power up, I can go and, you know, kill Zeref. But one thing I also do want to say about that, though, that kind of would just throw it off of him actually being intact and, like, still Natsu, is that I don't think Natsu would do something like blow a hole almost, like, into Demiria. So I don't think that would happen. But just one thing I do want to say, oh my gosh, Demiria, she had, like, a hole, like, kind of like what Akinologia did to God Serena. Maybe not just like it, but somewhat like it is what that reminded me of. And one thing I do want to also mention is that fan service, though, with the torture scene. Like, for real, that fan service, like, I want to see that in the anime, like, perfect animation. Like, I want to see all of this in the anime, perfect animation, but especially just that scene, just for, you guys know why. I mean, the fan service, I'm sure they'll censor it a little bit, but even still, it's just like, dang. Now, if I was going to rate this chapter, I would probably rate it a 9.5 out of 10, because you could say the fan service was a little too much for the scene, but all the fanboys, including me, 10 out of 10 for this chapter. It was an amazing chapter, and it had been a long time coming, and I can't wait till next chapter. So that's all I have for this review, guys. Make sure you give me a like on my review if you enjoyed it. Comment down below. Tell me what you think of the Brandish theory. Did you like the fan service? And what do you think of the Natsu versus Gray stuff and E.N.D? That's all I have for this one, guys. Subscribe for more content. Anyways, have a nice day. I'm out.